In this edition of Pause Button Math, we'll learn how to solve one-step equations with addition and subtraction only. Before you begin, you really need to have paper and pencil. The only way this is going to work is if you work along with me. You also need the skill of adding and subtracting integers. On the next screen, you'll see 3 problems which you'll need to solve successfully before you can solve equations. Here are 3 sample problems for you to try. Please click pause, and in 3 seconds, I'll reveal the answers. Okay, this one is -5, this one is +1, and this one is -7. How'd you do? Solving one-step equations is easy. We first locate the variable and see what operation is happening to it. Then we perform the inverse operation to both sides of the equation. This is the one step. Lastly, we simplify and check our answer. This last step is very important to make sure that we did our work correctly. Okay, let's try it with some sample equations. Over here on the left, we have x plus 3 equals 10. The question is, what is the variable and what's happening to the variable? Here, the variable is x, and we are adding 3 to it. On your equation, what's the variable and what's happening to it? Very good. The variable is y, and we are subtracting 4 from it. So, the second step is to do the inverse operation. On my equation, we are adding 3, so the inverse operation to add 3 is subtract 3. And we have to do this on both sides of the equation. Now you try it. On your equation, what is the inverse operation to subtract 4? That's correct. It is add 4. So we're going to do this on both sides of the equation. Now going back to my equation, we're going to simplify. X plus 3 minus 3, these cancel out. Some people like to actually draw a line through them. X plus 3 minus 3 is just x, and 10 minus 3 is 7. So this is our new equation. Now you try it. We'll have you simplify the left, simplify the right, and write a new equation. Y minus 4 plus 4 is just y, and 7 plus 4 is 11. Again, some people like to cancel these things out. Lastly, we must check our answer to make sure that we are working correctly. The way we check our answer is we take the original equation, x plus 3 equals 10, and we substitute 7 for x. 7 plus 3 equals 10. Now, is this correct? Yes, correct. 7 plus 3 is in fact 10. Now you try it. Why don't you plug in y equals 11 into the original equation? So you should have had 11 minus 4 equals 7, and that is correct. 11 minus 4 is in fact 7. To recap, to solve one-step equations, we locate the variable, see what operation is happening to it. We perform the inverse operation to both sides of the equation. Then we simplify and check our answer. Now let's try a couple more problems. Our answers are not necessarily going to be a whole number. In these cases, our answer may in fact be an integer. On the left, we have z minus 5 equals -8. So let's try this. What operation is happening to our variable? Well, we're subtracting 5. So what must we do to both sides? We must add 5 to both sides. Z minus 5 plus 5 is in fact z. And -8 plus 5 is a -3. This is our final answer. Now, we need to plug in our answer to see if our answer is correct. Z minus 5, well, we plug in -3. So we plug in -3 for z. minus 5 equals negative 8. This is our original equation. Negative 3 minus 5 is in fact negative 8. So our check is correct. Now I'd like you to try it. A plus 4 equals negative 1. Please hit the pause button now, and I'll give you time to solve it. Okay, how did you do? Well, a plus 4 equals negative 1. We must first subtract 4 from both sides. A plus 4 minus 4 is just plain a. Negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. This is our final answer. Now we check our answer by plugging it back into the original equation. A plus 4 equals negative 1. Well, we're going to plug in negative 5 for a, plus 4 equals negative 1. What is negative 5 plus 4? Negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1, and this is a true statement. Negative 1 equals negative 1. Now let's try several more problems. We've got 4 problems here for you to work on, and what we'll do is we will have you press pause, and then I'll show you the solution for each one in turn. Please keep hitting pause so you get feedback for each one. So I will solve this one first, then I will solve y minus 2 equals negative 1, then I'll work on this one, and then I'll work on this one. So please press pause now. We'll close the lesson with 6 more sample problems. These will be like textbook problems in that I will only reveal the final answer. If you start and stop the video after each answer, you can then get the most feedback after you solve each problem. Please click pause now and begin solving.